Samahan niyo ako maging mapanay kapag matcha at mapangas. Dahil ito si Kuya Ray with the heart. Ito ang matang lawin.
Ang matang lawin.
Have you ever pondered what our fellow Muslims' culture or tradition was like back then? Well, for today, we will talk about the Raiders of the Sulu Sea, a documentary film about the Muslims in Mindanao. So without further ado, let's get started on our discussion. The Raiders of the Sulu Sea was produced by the Oak Films under the direction of Idzwan Altman. The documentary film itself talks about the slave raiding activities and economic activities that were done by the prominent Muslim tribes in southern Mindanao. In their time, it became an integral part by introducing the Muslim tribes of Mindanao in a way that they weren't being introduced yet on us. And this is a new perspective on how we look to our fellow Muslims in Mindanao. Here with me now is a PhD in history wherein she researched on the history of Sama in Sulu Archipelago. Let us all welcome Miss Margarita Kowang.
Good morning, Kuya Ray. It is also a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Good morning, ma'am. It is pleasure to meet you. So, can you tell us more about the content of the documentary film in the Raiders of the Sulu Sea?
Well, the documentary itself introduces the various technologies that Muslims exploited, particularly in seafaring. As we can see, Muslim tribes were presented as expert in maritime skills and industry.
It depicts Muslim tribes such as the Samal Balangingi and the Ilanon as proficient at voyaging. It also includes a display of many weapons used by Muslim raiders at the time, including the kalis, kampilan, and morakris and their shapes and designs, which vary based on the groups of Muslims that employed them.
Oh, I've seen those kinds of weapons at the National Museum. The makings of them are really neat, and the carvings. Don't you know that the design of the weapon, of their weaponry, also varies depending on the culture from which they originated? Now you know, guys. So, raiders, by talking about raiders, it is all about a person who attacks an enemy in their enemy's territory. At that time, slave raiding was carried out. So, can you tell us, Miss Margarita, about how the Muslims do it?
Well, the Muslims pretended to be fishermen and used to go to different areas and then declare slave raids, where they would capture the people, sometimes violently, to catch those they wanted to be slaves.
One of the most striking sequences in the documentary is when the raiders used to pierce the palms of their captives, allowing the rope to be tied to it and fastened so they couldn't escape, which became a trademark of the slave raiders of the time.
Did you know that apart from the slave raiding of Muslim tribes, it was also mentioned here how the Spaniards attempted to be involved in Mindanao's trading activity at the period? Yes, and by making such an endeavor, they attempt to spread their colonization and gain dominance in some sections of Mindanao. The Spaniards did this because they did not have complete control of the Mindanao region.
Yes, Kuya Rain, the Muslims resented the Spaniards' presence in Zamboanga, and the Spaniards even built a concrete fort in Mindanao known as the Fort Pillar. The Fort Pillar is a fortified wall that stands 10 meters tall, and it serves as a center for Zamboanga's traders. The Spaniards' objective is to control the trading and preach Christianity. The Muslims grew enraged in the vicinity of Fort Pillar and joined together with the Tausug warriors. So those ships were planning to attack Fort Pillar with the 3,000 men, but unfortunately, they did not succeed.
Kuya Rain, ano na? Trivia time! Did you know that after the failed attempts of the Muslims to attack the Spaniards, they were totally defeated among them? This happens when they buy a steamship from England that could follow or chase the ships of the Muslim because they are just using paddles, which made it so fast. So, because of the steamship technology, they could finally chase the ship of the Muslim raiders that were agitating them. But, after being defeated, they didn't let the woman and their children to become the slaves of the Spaniards after their win. Instead, the Muslim raiders slaughtered the woman, and the woman killed their children. The defeat of the Muslims at Fort Pillar led to a decline in slave raiding activities by the Spaniards. The Spaniards gradually established their economic activity in the area. As a result, there has been a decrease in the number of slaves. Excuse me po. Nevertheless, it did not end the trading by the Muslims in the area. Only slave raiding was affected, and it continued until the Americans arrived. And that's our trivia. Again, I'm Kuya Rain with a heart. At ang inyong matang lawin.
Ang matang lawin.
Good day! Another letter has been sent to us today, and it is from the director of the Raiders of the Sulu, Edsman Othman. Dear Anthony's, if you've watched the documentary The Raiders of the Sulu, as we can see, the Muslims did not focus on seizing the Spaniards' economic activity, but on the Spaniards' attempt to transform the culture, thereby bringing Christianity, which is the Muslims did not desire. The way I introduce the Muslims' culture, the course of their lives means another perspective about their slave raiding. Because sometimes we don't see how appropriate or pleasant the activities that are done by them when it comes to their daily life and in their way to have a livelihood because of the slave raiding. Still, it isn't just about that. It is a matter of perspective, culture, and acceptance. Yours truly, Edswan Hoffman. So that's all for our discussion for today. We hope that you learned something from what we have discussed. Thank you all for watching and listening. Until next time, bye-bye!